Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Culture prevents so many negative things from happening to us as individuals and as communities.
Strong roots begin with a healthy heart. For Indigenous women, heart health is part of caring for community, culture, and future generations. Even small steps can help protect what matters most. Discover ways to support your heart at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats, because your heart beats for generations.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality?
I don't know if you want to mention that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've talked to a lot of people.
EDU, Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Visit during free Thursday nights. Every week from 5 to 9 p.m., there's something new to explore. Enjoy date-friendly events like artist talks, performances, and exhibition openings, or explore art-making open library hours and exhibition tours. Settle into your weekend among community. Free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies tonight with a low around 43, Friday sunny with a high near 66, and Saturday sunny with a high around 71. The Great Wall Restaurant brings classic Szechuan and Peking Mandarin dishes right to the Twin Cities, featuring favorites like pan-fried dumplings and fish fillet in ginger sauce. Stop by the Great Wall location at 4515 France Avenue South and browse their full extensive menu at greatwallrestaurant.us. That's greatwallrestaurant.us.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
Good day to be Indigenous. Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagito. To all my friends.
We have an
and
echo
relatives.
going on here.
All my friends and relatives. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio. I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, Wendy, good to see you. Had a really busy day. I'm kind of running another entity out there in
You sure are.
So the Circle magazine. I'm the managing editor of the Circle magazine right now, and that magazine's been around since 1980, and we're going to make it happen.
That's
so
awesome.
Really excited about that.
Since 1980. Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yes, definitely. So I have a lot to do, but have a lot of good people surrounded by me. Hey, before we get to your segment, I just want to mention, I want to give a shout out to our friend Guadalupe Lopez, and she was director of Minnesota Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Office, and she was terminated the day after that great event of honoring our missing relatives at the Minneapolis Indian Center. And I just want to give her a big shout out that, we're all shocked and we're all on your side, and we pray for you. And it's just, more to come, but I just wanted to bring that up, Wen.
Yeah, that's a sad situation, and but knowing her, she'll just land right on her feet.
Yeah, we won't get into it, but you know
Mhm.
how these big organizations and state organizations deal with Native people. So there'll be more to be talk about, and we'll probably
Mhm.
have her on coming soon.
Yeah.
So again, prayers up. When
Absolutely.
asked to come on, we got Bob Blake from Red Lake coming on later.
Mhm.
What do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, a couple updates. As everyone knows, I went to the Riglin Farms in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin on April 18th. We caused a bunch of havoc and we left with no
Good trouble.
dogs. We got into good trouble. Yeah, we left with no dogs and it was really disappointing. But two very large organizations stepped up and purchased the dogs, and they're being rescued as we speak right now. Funny thing is, all the dogs that I've seen video and pictures of, and the fosters have them, and it's just wonderful. They all have like little blue collars. So I was like, oh, are they all males? So I asked somebody and they said yes. Yeah, well,
Oh.
all the first males, all the first dogs rescued out of the facility were males. Just on May 5th. May 5th, this is from Aiden. So Aiden, I don't know Aiden's last name. I don't know if he'd want me to say his last name on the air anyway, but he works very closely with Wayne Shung, who is the founder and organizer of this active open rescue that we went on. So Aiden said on May 5th, good news, everyone. All what we've seen so far is Riglin was releasing mostly exclusively males. And I wasn't surprised because males are less valuable in the breeding operation, and they wouldn't want to give up their leverage,
Oh
right?
my
So Riglin
God.
is exactly leveraging the dogs to negotiate money. Like they're not cruel enough, right? They have to do
Wow.
this. So anyway, that's why. So they were letting the males go first. This led to some worries that they were going to try to continue breeding after the deal. Aiden goes on to say, well, all the dogs released from Riglin today, which was May 5th, have been females. So that's exciting news. They probably just ran out of males after the first 500 dogs. He says he's been told that the male-female ratio on dog breeding operations is typically one male for every 4 to 6 females.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are 1,000 more dogs coming out under the current agreement and 500 more still being negotiated for. We will watch closely and turn the pressure back on Riglin if we have to, but as of right now, it still seems more likely than not to me that a second agreement will be made for the remaining dogs. So please follow along. And so we're happy about that. So I have video on my Facebook page just from, I don't know, a couple of days ago, May 5th, of female dogs. And you could tell, like their nipples are all, from having puppies, and they look a little different than the males. So we're happy that the females are getting out. And, a lot of people have been really very interested in adopting these dogs. Like every rescue organization that has been getting some of these dogs have had an overwhelming response, right? Of course, people see what's happening. They look at these dogs' eyes and they just want to save them. And I get it. I have a message this is from Raman's Rescue, who took in some of the dogs. And she posted a picture of one of the beagles that she took in to foster for a while. The dog is, I'm going to describe the picture. So the dog is between a wall and a plastic tote filled with supplies squished inside between the wall and is like hovering in there. And this is the picture. And she just wants everyone to understand that that these dogs, need a lot of special care. The adoption messages keep flooding in, and I really need people to realize that if they want to adopt one of the 1,500 beagles, this is what they would be working with. And she showed the picture of this poor little puppy who's, just terrified. She said, I took this picture, just to show everyone. She said, my kids were out of the house. The house was really quiet, but she's terrified of life. She put the blanket over the kennel. She has access to 4 beds, but this is what she's chosen. There is no noise in the house, and she's still hiding. Can you imagine taking this poor girl into a house that's loud and not prepared? In less than 24 hours, this is what we're dealing with. So she goes on in the 24 hours. The dog is struggling to eat anything, any food, wet or dry, struggling to drink water. These dogs are used to drinking water from a hamster water bottle. They don't know how to drink water from a bowl. They can't walk on leashes. They run away from you. The tail is tucked in at all times, does not understand the concept of beds. They choose to sleep on the concrete. Medical issues galore, obviously not potty trained. And she goes on to say, I need 3 ways to ensure they won't bolt on me outside because they are flight risks.
Wow.
Yep. So she goes on and she knows what you're signing. And she just wants to know, she wants people to understand what they're signing up for when they fill out an application. And she says, I commend people wanting to help, but for a lot of people, helping may look like not look like adopting. It might look like helping a foster parent tidy and clean. It may be financial help. It may be companionship while the foster mom is out. There are so many ways to help rescues. Adopting is not the only way to get involved. So there's so many ways to get involved. And not all of these dogs are shut down as bad as this particular dog that she's talking about. A lot of them are much more friendly and outgoing. They all have different personalities, right?
Hey, Wen, give that email, or not email, the Facebook and website address so people can stay caught up on what's going on.
You can go savethedogs.io. The Marty Project, that's one. You can get a lot of information. You could just Google Rigland Beagles.
Hey, Pinigi for the update. Wendy, thank you. Hey, up next, Bob Blake from Red Lake. You're listening to Native Roots Radio.
Stay with us.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
Oh, this is Robert Pilot. For Native relatives, healing is more than just sobriety. It's reclaiming Indigenous masculinity as a sacred, balanced force. Join Hunter Thundercloud for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. We explore how personal recovery uplifts our communities. It's time men step back into roles as mentors and spiritual leaders. Recovery is collective, and it starts with us. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. Let's tend the fire together.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Maintaining our health, particularly our heart health, is very important to us as a family.
Your heart gives you time with family, time with community, time to pass down what matters. Protecting your heart helps keep those moments alive. A visit with a healthcare provider can be one step toward a healthier future. Learn more at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats. Your heart health is essential because your heart beats for generations.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and this is Native Roots Radio. We have our friend Bob Blake on. Bob Blake from Red Lake, the solar bear with the solar news with the Twins cap on. Great to see you, Bob. I don't know. We got time later on to talk about the sad game I watched on TV last night about our poor Timberwolves, but we'll have time to talk about that. Welcome, Bob, as always.
Yeah, I hear you, Robert. That was kind of a bummer, but I think we're going to rebound, and it's a long series, so I think we still have a shot. But yeah, Robert, lots going on in the solar world and renewable energy. I think what's one of the interesting kind of realities that are sitting in across the world, Robert, is the fact that this war happening in the Middle East right now is really making countries and other folks, other people around the world realize that this dependence on fossil fuels is not the way to go. Mm-hmm. And I think, as gas prices rise, we see there's been some great articles out lately of electric vehicles surging in popularity. It seems as though that there are companies around the world that are investing in electric vehicles and infrastructure and their own transportation needs. And you're seeing a big uptick in solar installations, not only solar gardens, but just people regularly wanting to put solar on their home, all across the country without subsidies.
Yeah. Well, we talked about when this war started that China was ahead of the game because they don't rely on fossil fuels like they used to.
Right. And they have sent warships, Robert, to the Middle East to actually escort their tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, bypassing, President Trump's blockade. So, you can pick on the little guys, but you can't pick on the big guys, so to speak.
Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the amazing things is this resurgence in this kind of like excitement around renewable energy. There is bipartisan support now, and there are some Republicans that are getting on board to introduce a new bill to bring back the tax credits, Robert, to bring back all those crazy Joe Biden tax credits for renewable energy. And so that's very interesting that the Republicans are now pushing this after obviously what the commander-in-chief has been doing.
Well, yeah, and definitely. And it's interesting, too, because we're not getting all the news that we should be getting from what's happening at the Strait. And we got, Iran making these Lego videos and disputing everything Trump says. So again, Mother Earth is suffering because of all this BS that's happening.
Right. And this is why, Robert, it's so important for education. We cannot stress that enough, Robert. You have been a lifelong educator, and the importance of educating the mind, sharpening those analytical skills. And when you do that, that's less dumb stuff you commit in your life, right? And so, with all the available free education out here, There's no need with the libraries. You have it. Education is important, and we can't stress that enough in our society. This attack, right? This attack on higher education through the years has, I think, really bitten this country in the butt now because, as you can see, what the lack of education does, it makes you make poor decisions like the one we just made in electing this president.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it, Bob. Thank you for being civil.
Trying to be civil here. Point out the Captain Obvious. But there's a lot going on in the renewable energy news, and one story, Robert, I wanted to share with our audience is Europe's quest for green steel. This is where essentially they're not using coal-fired furnaces to melt the metal down, and create the steel. And what they're going to use is renewable energy, which is great because any way we can decarbonize these really huge systems like steel, industries like steel, is a good thing for the rest of the planet. And because steel is just about in everything, Robert. So if we can do that, we are definitely on the right path. And then another interesting article here is Tesla semis, Robert. Trucks are going to be hitting the road in California. That's the thing, right? Like what's really cool. I mean, obviously everyone, it's Tesla.
Yeah.
We do have other truck makers out there, so that they're not the only ones. But what I'm saying here though is I like the fact that we've got these electric semis. We're going into the heavy duty trucks. Remember, everyone, these heavy duty trucks, they haul food, furniture, all those things that we buy and use in our regular lives. They drive them to the stores. So it's really, really important that we look for ways to, take these, gas fired big heavy duty trucks. Robert, do you remember how when you're growing up as a kid, you saw the garbage truck and it was just full of diesel and it was going everywhere all over the place?
Yeah, definitely. The smell of even the smell of motorboats have changed over the years too. You had that nice smell of gas pouring into the lake.
Exactly, Robert. So it's really important that, that we start, decarbonizing this heavy transportation system by switching over to electric trucks, hydrogen too, green hydrogen, that's another way. Incidentally, I know that the Star Tribune, those little green trucks, they were all like hydrogen engines.
Wow.
Yeah, really interesting. And they were doing that for years, actually. I want to say a good 10, 15 years. Well, anyways, point being though, is that that's kind of where we have to go now. Because we're not going to continue, we're not going to stop going to the store. We're not going to stop,
Right.
these other things that, furniture and TVs and stuff we still need. So if we can be able to get those trucks to be hauling those goods and services in a more cleaner transportation way, that's going to mean a better and more cleaner and more healthier environment for all of us.
Absolutely. Geez, I just think about, when I was young, there was a person that changed the carburetor that the cars could run on a liquid hydrogen, which is water. And the oil companies bought that out. And I don't want to get into conspiracy show, but there's technology and smart people out there that can really solve this.
Oh, absolutely. And we have the people. Sorry, everyone. I'm a little anti artificial intelligence. The things I worry about these AI data centers and stuff is like
Oh my God.
people creating like, smart bombs and those kinds of things, Robert,
But just
but
all the water that they take now,
well,
and
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 yeah,
and
and did you see
Google too, for that
Yep.
matter.
And Robert, did you see the story now that they're looking at this water from these data centers, and you can't? I mean, that water's polluted. Like, it's bad
Yeah.
water. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so all the chemicals that go along with that. So for anyone just thinking, oh, we're just going to put it back in the lake, no, there's more to it than that.
Yeah, we really have to talk about that. And I know a lot of the cities have really put a pause on it, and that's good. But there's also some communities out there. I can't remember who, but I just read that did a huge one, and it's really messing up the water and using so many gallons of water. And again, you can't reuse it. You can't use it as drinking water. And here we go again. This is what they talked about when we were kids, or when I was kids, is it's not going to be about oil. It's going to be about water.
Wow, Robert, isn't that? I've heard you say that before, and I think that there's some truth to that because, when you look at the natural resources that it's going to take to be able to power these data centers, and I heard this one interesting interview too about how people are, the people that are really going to benefit off of this is like people that got money in the stock market.
Yeah. Well, that's what's happening right now. Everyone's buying $5 a gallon gas, and stock market's still going up as soon as Trump says that there's a ceasefire, and there isn't. So, hey, we're with Bob Blake, the Solar Bear with the Solar News and Sports, and we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Visit during free Thursday nights. Every week from 5 to 9 p.m., there's something new to explore. Enjoy date-friendly events like artist talks, performances, and exhibition openings, or explore art-making open library hours and exhibition tours. Settle into your weekend among community. Free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
Heart health is more than just the physical well-being. It represents like a foundation of vitality, resilience, and the ability to live fully.
Your heart carries stories of resilience, love, and survival. Caring for your heart means honoring yourself and the generations before and after you. It means protecting your ability to gather, laugh, and be present. Learn more about your heart health at hennepincounty.gov/heart-beats, because your story matters and your heart beats for generations.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, this is Desi Doyen of the Green News Report and the Broadcast. You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovated Minneapolis American Indian Center, executive chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
ATN FM 950 St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies tonight with a low around 43, Friday sunny with a high near 66, and Saturday sunny with a high around 71. Step into the magic of The Wizard of Oz at Children's Theater Company, playing now through June 14th, featuring the beloved songs from the classic film, breathtaking stage magic, and a dog as real as Toto. Get your tickets today at childrenstheater.org. That's childrenstheater.org.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awakened. This is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we are with our friend Bob Blake, and Bob seems to be out for a second. There he is. Ho! Bob Blake from Red Lake, a solar bear with the Solar News and Sports. Great to see you, Bob, and a lot going on, and it's always really great to get the updates. And one things I want to just say that we talked a little bit about in the first segment in the last 2 days is that Robert Pilot is now managing editor of the magazine The Circle, and we're going to be looking forward to an article from Bob Blake, and maybe we can talk just a little bit about that, but that's coming up in the next month, and really excited to have you show and talk about your experience and what's going on. So, Bob, thanks for being on and also stepping up to the magazine world.
Yeah, Robert, I'm excited. And by the way, congratulations. This is really exciting. And thank you for all that you do for our community, Robert. It's really important. You're able to uplift so many voices and tell the stories that we all know are there, but we never hear them. And so
Right.
and so that's great. Yeah, Robert. So I'm imagining this being like a Ask Solar Bear, but like a Ask Abby, right?
You're Abby, yes.
and Ask Solar Bear. And what's going to be really cool about this, and I'm working on actually a little like thing where Solar Bear's face and sunglasses, and he's reading a paper. And he's like asking, he's like looking up, and he's looking up, and he's going to answer the questions.
There you go. There you go. That'll be in the magazine.
So yeah, we're working on that actually, Robert. This is true.
Awesome.
But we're going to do Ask Solar Bear type column, and we're going to take folks. We're going to take your questions, and we're going to answer them, because I think that there's a lot of questions that are a lot of things that people want to ask, and we want to answer them. And everything renewable energy, anything politics, anything native, traditional, whatever. We're just going to answer them, and I think that that's going to be a very exciting article. And I think people are going to be engaged with it too. So I like this whole idea of people sending in questions and then us looking through them and then figuring out, how to answer some of them. And so I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah. How do people reach out, or do you want them to reach out to the Circle News at gmail.com or to yourself?
Well, I think that what we're going to do is we're just going to have them just send their we're going to put it in the article, have them send their questions to me, and then I will filter through them, and I will and remember, appropriate questions now, everyone. Appropriate questions.
Yes.
So, but we are going to answer the ones, and we'll publish them, and I think it's going to be really super exciting, Robert. And this will be a great way for folks to engage, and we were thinking about maybe having like the question of the week, and then having like a solar bear send you out a solar bear sweatshirt or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, it's a quarterly magazine, and then we're gonna have news, daily news, in the next 30 days. Every day we'll be having updates, and maybe we can pop you up there too during the week in between magazines.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Yeah, quarterly. Yeah, the quarterly questions. Yeah, I forgot we talked about this, and I just I forgot that. But absolutely, I think it's going to be so much fun. People are going to be able to see their questions, and they're going to be thinking of cool things to ask Solar Bear. And so I'm really happy about that and excited for it.
Hey, did you see that in New York, when the heat wave hits, millions of air conditioners, and I'm getting this from Associated Press, switched to once straining the electric grid and driving up the risks of outages, the residents' power bills. To ease the strain of power companies may ask customers to do something many probably won't. Set the air conditioner fewer degrees higher. And then also they're talking about doing another approach where a plug-in battery to run the air conditioners. I don't know if you've heard that, but that's on Associated Press today, and I just thought, wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about this, and that's why when the Biden administration and Harris were all talking about having these tax credits for batteries, for solar. It was all about really trying to be able to take stress off the grid, because our grid is from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. We haven't really upgraded it. We should be upgrading it. Our utilities should be taking the money that we pay as customers to upgrade our grid. Instead, they're giving out $1 million salaries to their executives, which I think
Yeah.
they should stop that now. But what needs to happen is these funds need to go back to upgrade the lines, upgrade the substations, because the heat is really going to put a lot of pressure on our grids. And I know it doesn't seem that important right now because it's 60, 70 degrees out. But when it starts hitting 100 degree consecutive days, people are going to be feeling it. And when
Yeah.
that happens, people become irritable. When that irritable thing happens, they become, mad, and just, bad things can lead from that. So, this is about public safety too, Robert. And so, we all know that the environment touches everything. So everyone has an environment job. And it's going to climate change is really going to affect everyone.
Yeah, I agree, and, we've been talking about it, but I believe it's here now, and you see with all the fires and the storms in the last few years, this is something you and I did not grow up to, and, whether we wanna, believe it or not, this is, a new dawn of a new day, and, we're at a situation now where, Mother Earth is really, suffering.
Absolutely, Robert. And that's why, we really, really have to think about who we elect, who represents us, and not just their own self-interest, right? And we need to get people that are there that want to, benefit the people and benefit the policies that are going to help society. The other interesting thing about this too, Robert, is our smartest people, scientists, even folks from Al Gore's Climate Reality, who's probably one of the more honest people about all this. They've even admitted they're getting it wrong because it's happening so quick and so fast that
Mhm.
they can't believe that the data that's being sent back to them. So everyone, this is not a joke. This is real. We have to take it seriously, and we have to start preparing our communities and people now for the inevitable.
Well, Bob, in less than a few years possibly, and I'd like you to comment on this, New Orleans is gonna be underwater.
This is true. Everyone, this is not a game. This is true. New Orleans is going to be underwater. We know this. Miami is sinking. Mexico City Looks like that is sinking. So everyone, this is becoming a real situation, and we really have to take it seriously. I know people are scared. I know the Republicans are scared. I know, a lot of the older generation is scared. They're telling us, "Oh, don't." We've heard doom and gloom our whole entire lives. You know what I mean? But no, this is real, and we have to look at this logically. We have to start preparing our communities. We have to start talking about resiliency centers. We have to start talking about solar, distributed energy resources, electric vehicles, the climate jobs that are going to be here. I don't care about AI data centers. I'm just saying, I really don't care about that. I'm worried about us keeping clean water. We are going to have to figure out how to keep clean water and water in general. So these are all situations that we're going to have to face. And I guarantee you, Robert, good people, young people, that are smart are going to step up, and we are going to solve this problem, and we will continue to survive and thrive as a society. But we're only going to do that is if we come together and we stop playing this divisive game that these politicians keep on making us play, because for the most part, we all want to just live in a healthy, livable, lovable society where we all get along, and that's where we got to strive to be.
Well, not to correct the solar bear, but I don't believe it's sinking. I believe the water's going up because of all the glaciers and everything melting.
Oh yeah, so Mexico City is built on a old like lake, and so what's happening is the city is like sinking like every like I don't know like X amount of centimeters every like couple of months or something, and it's really becoming a problem, so much so that they're concerned about what's the future for Mexico City, right? And so that's what's been happening. And I don't know if it's due to climate change or not, but these are some real problems that we have around the world right now, because of us living in a more heated planet. And I just think everything is connected.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you talk about that all the time, how everything's connected. I keep an eye on the Mississippi River because again, we've been in and out of drought for the last 4 years, and the river's been low, and there must be some rain up north because I see river going over the Ford Dam. But still, it's been low all winter, and we're used to having some sort of floods every year when it comes to the river.
Yeah, and I really want, like society to start thinking about having solar panels over the rivers themselves, kind of
Yeah.
act as like a buffer, from the heat. So, the water doesn't, evaporate less up into the air. And then we could create clean energy at the same time. So, those are just things that are happening around the country, around the world, that are proven to be really good, examples of the way that we can, mitigate, some of these climate catastrophes that are, descending upon us right now. Like you eloquently so spoke about just, moments ago, Robert, and how like you've never seen this stuff before. So, and it's happening more and more. So, I think that those are the things that we need to focus on, and that's where we'll be.
Hey, we're here with Bob Blake, and this is Native Roots Radio and the Solar Bear with the Solar News and Sports. And we're going to take a quick break. This is Native Roots Radio.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Visit during free Thursday nights. Every week from 5 to 9 p.m., there's something new to explore. Enjoy date-friendly events like artist talks, performances, and exhibition openings, or explore art-making open library hours and exhibition tours. Settle into your weekend among community. Free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Native Roots Radio, and we're with Bob Blake, the Solar Bear, with the Solar News and Sports. Hey, one thing I'd like to segue, Bob. Joe Sensor passed away today, and that was kind of shocking because he's close to my age, and he was a great blocking field goals and punts and tight end that had a really good run and then got out early because of really some back issues. And he had some restaurants in town, and sad to see someone that young, 69 years old, go.
Wow. Joe Sensor was just a legend. And then he did a lot of philanthropy work here in the Twin Cities. I know that, his wife had that situation, over there by Augsburg College over there on 94.
Yeah, kind of closed his businesses after that too.
Yeah, closed his businesses after that too. And that was, obviously not Joe's fault. That wasn't Joe's situation, but, it was his wife. And so, but just an amazing human being. And I mean, the work, and being a player on the Minnesota Vikings all those years and being a part of the, the Purple. I mean, really sad to hear that, actually. He was a good guy, man. I really like Joe Sensor. And,
yeah.
And not only that though, but just as a player too, so, rest in peace, Joe. Number 81, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, yeah, definitely. Same as Carl Eller. Our Twins aren't doing well here, and I'm very sad. They lost today 7-5, and they've lost 15 out of 20. And the funny thing is, they're starting pitching and hitting. We're doing pretty well. The relievers are really letting us down.
Well, I think they had like that one guy from the Mets. It was like a week ago or something. He was picked up by the Mets. The Mets let him go. And he was like on their practice squad, and the Minnesota Twins sent him out there to, basically hold on to a 1-run lead. I don't know if that was the guy that we needed, but anyways, the Twins ended up losing the game. But point being though is we did, the bullpen is tough, man. The bullpen is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. I've heard from different people that say, at tops, the Twins are a 75, 80 win team. on a good year. So I think what they might want to do maybe is look, how are we going to do this next year? I know the poll ads are trying to figure this out too. Maybe we put up Buxton next year. I don't know, Robert. I hate to say that, but
Yeah. Well, you can spend money, and that's one thing they're not doing. They dumped 11 players last year and didn't get really much in return. We got a couple of young arms, and one of them's doing really well. But there is going to be a big lockout because these salaries have to really, where Twins are salaries of $90 million, and we got baseball players out there making 50 a year. We can't
I
compete with
know.
that.
And you get a player like Otani, right? From the Dodgers. He makes $2 million a year. But what did he do? He deferred his contract until he is like 36 years old or something. I forget what that is. But then he gets like 68 million a year after that. Now, think about that, Robert. Your best player is deferring his contract for all those years because he wants the team to put money back into the team to bring in people so they can win championships. I mean, that's an interesting deal. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more and more Otani deals happening around Major League Baseball.
Did you know that there's a day, uh, I think it's sometime in July, it's called Bobby Bonilla Day, and he gets $3 million each day because he deferred each year because he deferred his contract till I think another 20 years. He'll get 3 million a year.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Otani's doing, and I think you're going to see some other major leaguers do that exact same thing because they want to win now. So it used to be where you took the salary up front, and
Right.
and you got paid up front. Well, now that goes against the salary cap, and so
Well,
now
there is no salary cap. That's the problem.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that
and
is the problem in Major League Baseball, and I think that's why there's gonna be a lockout next year, and that's why the poll ads dumped everybody because they wanna save money and not pay people that have guaranteed contracts when they're locked out.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And I'm telling you, Robert, this is a business, everyone. I hate to say that, man, because when I was a kid, I looked at the baseball players, Kirby Puckett, Ken Herbeck, all those guys winning the World Series, and I
Yeah.
thought to myself, man, this is for the love of the game. And for a lot of those guys, it is for the love of the game. But the owners have made it very clear that this is a business and that this is the way that professional sports are going. And now you see it trickling down into college sports
Yeah,
with that NIA stuff. So
that's
I don't know
crazy.
where this goes.
I don't either, but let me just, cry on your shoulder here with the Wolves last night, and we're really here at the home, always excited to watch, playoff basketball, and, I ended up switching it and watching Hacks on HBO.
Well, I tell you this, Robert, San Antonio Spurs came to play
Oh
last
my god.
night. And the Wolves, they have a really good team. The problem is that we're banged up, and you can't play in that type of level, especially in the NBA when you have half your team is injured. So that's the reality of it. These guys get tired. They're going all out each play, and there's only so long that you can fake that. So the old saying, "Make it till you fake it," right? Or fake it till you make it.
Right.
And this is catching up with the Wolves here on this one. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond in game 3. We have a good team. I think that we can play the Spurs and go toe to toe with them. But the rest of the team's going to have to show up, and Anthony Edwards is just going to have to be healthy. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard because he's hurt.
Yeah, definitely, and they got an unbelievable young, center, I guess he's a center. He was hitting 3 points, three-pointers. He's only, like, 23 years old.
Yep, exactly. I mean, Chet Holmgren and these guys, I mean, that's what these NBA teams are looking for now. These big men that can shoot the ball, and the three-pointers and, then they can post you up, they can pass. I mean, it's amazing what these 7-footers are doing nowadays.
Got 30 seconds. The Wild.
Yeah, the Minnesota Wild is going to play, I believe, on Saturday, right? And they are down 0-2. The Frost play tonight. They are 1-1 tied, and so let's go Frost.
Definitely. I'll have to go to your suite at the Frost game and check it out.
You're welcome anytime.
Right on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. Thanks, Bob Blake from Red Lake. If you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance. From Chief Plenty Coops, the ground on which you stand on. It's sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, vote, release those beagles, and also get some solar panels. This is Native Roots Radio signing off. See you tomorrow. Oh, this is Robert Pilot. For Native relatives